I'm mainly here to correct a major error that you people have been basing the faith on.
What's that?
Jesus wasn't white. Jesus was black.
I don't buy it.
Kevin Smith became an instant icon to struggling independent filmmakers in 1994 with his surprise hit Clerks. Now, with his fourth writing and directing effort, he has made one of the most controversial films in recent years. Dogma is the film that the Catholic League has been incensed about since its debut last May at Cannes. It has been both protested and praised for its biting commentary on modern-day Catholicism, and here is the trailer for the film.
Get it?
Kevin Smith is a writer and director and co-star of this much-talked-about comedy. He is joined by Chris Rock, one of the top comics working today. He stars in Dogma and currently hosts his own self-titled talk show on HBO. Welcome. Welcome.
Thanks.
What's this so... why is this so controversial? What's
I think it's because Chris's butt shows up in the movie, naked butt.
Really?
Well, some people have objected. Other people,
I think because it's the only movie in the last 6 months without Sam Jackson in it. So I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yes. Sam's not in this, is he?
No, and people are awfully upset.
Well, how did you get all these people in this film is my better question.
I don't know, because we didn't pay them.
I could assume.
I mean, everyone worked for scale, and scale is kind of like the minimum wage of the movie business. But either they like the script a lot or they just have really bad agents. Terrible representation.
Yeah, I got nothing. I lost money doing this movie.
Exactly.
I love the script. That's why I did it.
Yeah. But did you want to work with him? I mean, before the script, there was something about Chasing Amy or something?
Yeah, I saw Chasing Amy, and I was like, whoa, okay. It's finally a new romantic comedy. I consider every other romantic comedy in the last, 15 years to be basically a ripoff of Annie Hall.
Yeah.
Chasing Amy is a new kind of romantic comedy. But we're here to talk about Dogma. And once I saw Chasing Amy, I was like, I got to work with this guy.
Yeah. So then you get a script.
I get a script. First, Harvey tries to get me to do a movie about a bunch of rappers on a bus.
Harvey being?
Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. And I couldn't do the bus movie. No. So I said, what's Kevin Smith doing? And they gave me a script, and I liked it, and I met with Kevin. And
then he said, this is scale, and you said, no bother, who cares?
Sam Jackson said, I'm not taking scale. They gave me a call.
So you got all these good actors. You got this script that you like a lot, you know? What's the plot line?
The plot line concerns these two angels who were kicked out of heaven years ago, and they find a loophole centuries later, eons later, millennia later, that allows them to get back into heaven. But if they do it, what they don't realize, it'll end existence, because it would prove God fallible. So a bunch of people kind of set out to stop him. Chris is one of them. Linda Fiorentino plays a character named Bethany. She's another. Salma Hayek plays a muse. Serendipity, she's another. Two characters we've used a lot in our other pictures. Jay and Silent Bob, they're prophets in this movie.
So why is the Catholic League so upset?
The Catholic League, I think, is upset because it was a Disney movie initially. This is my feeling. The film was a Miramax movie. By virtue of that, it was a Disney film. The Catholic League is an organization, as you know, they're heat seekers. You know, they love to go after stuff that raises their profile. Doesn't necessarily go after things that are necessary or really intentionally attacks on the faith or the church. They go after things that they feel attacks them as Catholics. They feel that Disney attacks Catholics constantly, whether it's with Nothing Sacred, the TV show that was on ABC a little while ago, or Priest, the Miramax movie that was out a few years ago, or Disney's same-sex health benefits policies, or the alleged gay day they have at Disney World every year. Always going after Disney, and we were just the ripe, luscious opportunity for them to go after Disney that week. We were kind of the target du jour.
You think it's simply that? I mean, they found nothing that was offensive to them, nothing that they
Charlie,
thought...
they hadn't seen a frame of film. And they maintained, well, we pulled the script off the internet, but that's just not the same thing. It was a third draft. We shot a 6 or 7. Why is the script on the
internet? That's a whole...
I don't know. That kind of ticked me off as well.
It would tick me off, too.
It did upset me, but I couldn't be that upset because back before I made movies, I used to go to comic book conventions and buy scripts of movies that were in production. So, you know, turnabout's fair play.
For what effect? Why
would
you do that?
To read, and just
to see
when you're a fan.
Going.
I mean, that's why the script was on the internet. It wasn't up there because people were trying to pooch my project. I guess people liked what we had done, so they kind of wanted to get ahead of themselves and read the script. So to me, the Catholic League's real outrage about the movie was not an outrage at all. It was a very well-designed publicity campaign. And if you read their materials and whatnot, it reflects that as much to me. I mean, I've read so many things where Bill Donahue said, I tried to contact Eisner about this movie.
He's their spokesperson.
Bill Donahue is a spokesperson. He's the head of the Catholic League.
Right.
I tried to contact Eisner, he says, when I heard about this movie, because I wanted a meeting with him, and I wanted him to show me the script, and he wouldn't contact me. It's just like, well, why not call me? I'm the author. You know, I mean, I'm accessible. I'm in Jersey. I'm not doing anything. You could find me any time of day, but there's no press in going after the guy who made Clerks or saying, I talked to the guy who made Clerks. You know, people are like, so? Yeah. The Eisner equation was the big thing for him, and that became very clear to me, too, once the 6-7 months into this campaign by the Catholic League against the movie, we finally got a call in our office from the Catholic League, and this was about 3 weeks ago, saying, Dr. Donahue would like a screening of the film set up. This was great. It was a message I wanted to frame. It was so good. Dr. Donahue wants a screening of the film set up for him so he can speak about it intelligently. And I was just like, well, what's he been doing for the last 6 months? Makes no sense.
Why didn't he hold his fire? Yeah. So what do you think about this controversy there?
The controversy, to me, it shows a lack of faith in God when you really think about it. Because if you really believe in God, then he's powerful. In the movie,
he's all-knowing.
He's all-knowing and all-powerful and, can pretty much handle everything himself. So, to me, the Catholic League or whoever is protesting is actually dissing God more than this movie ever will.
It speaks volumes of a lack of faith in God.
It really speaks of a lack of faith in God. It's like,
only Chris Rock can make that connection.
That's my connection.
Right.
God's like, oh, you want to cut on the sun while you're at it?
Now, you're saying the Catholic League is unknowing about God?
I'm saying if you could... The movie, it's just a movie, can only affect mortals in the movie business. A movie cannot affect God. It can't affect my God. My God's powerful. My God made the moon, the stars, and the water, and the trees, and everything. My God made everything. Yes. You can make all the movies you want about my God.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He's right.
He's way above
powerful,
that.
Man.
He's powerful.
He's God. The other line is that the other thing is my God's too busy to care about a movie.
My God's got things to do, man.
He's got things to do. He's got wars to worry about and suffering and all kinds. And so we don't want to be involved.
I don't know, you know, everybody else's God's, you know, going to the multiplex, but my God's got a full plate.
He's not worried about what you do on HBO.
No.
He doesn't care.
He said, what?
He was irreverent. Chris who?
God's got a really full plate.
Yeah, but you don't question. You question the. Well, you're saying basically they're doing this for PR purposes. Is that to raise money or whatever?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at their literature, and I've had a chance to do it over the last few months, doesn't really talk about the faith. Doesn't talk about Christ. Talks about how their outrage as Catholics, how as Catholics they have to defend themselves against attack against them being Catholics. They take everything very personally, and we saw it with the Brooklyn Art Museum, the Sensations exhibit. There's a painting, okay, of the Madonna done by somebody using elephant dung in places, but a painting that wasn't made. It's not a painting that mocks the Catholic League with a picture of Bill Donahue as a clown or something like that. It's a painting of the Madonna, and they're like, that's an attack on us as Catholics, and it makes no sense to me. I mean, it's not really an attack on them as Catholics. It's them as Catholics taking something far too personally.
The only problem I have with that is that you can't reach inside of somebody's motivations and know what the hell they're thinking. I mean, I suspect there are some people that legitimately may feel very strongly, you know, about the exhibition, or legitimately may feel strongly about whatever it is.
Sure, that's why I'm not saying across the boards like anyone who's upset by that is wrong. Catholic League, though, I mean, saw it as an excellent opportunity to just build publicity for themselves based on the Sensations exhibit, because for the first half of the year, it was all about Dogma. And as soon as the Sensations open up, boy, suddenly, you know, he was like, we're going over there, never mind Dogma, which is fine. It was great. It cut us some slack for a little while. But
so you were there praising Sensations.
I was just like, you know, I feel bad for the city of New York, and I feel bad for the artists, and I feel bad for America.
But I'm certainly glad it's
take me off the hot air. Slack, that's great.
Yeah. Tell me the character you play in this movie.
I play Rufus.
Rufus?
Rufus of Shaka Khan. No, Rufus, the 13th apostle.
Yes. I didn't know about Rufus before.
Yeah, left out of the Bible because he was black.
Yeah.
And is trying really hard to get back in the Bible. That's why he's going to help out Bethany, you know, with her whole thing.
And Rufus knew Jesus personally.
Rufus was Jesus' best friend. Stickball buddies.
Chris
did-
added that
why
little
didn't
bit
I
for his
know?
own motivation while he was shooting. Kevin, did they play stickball again? I'm like, whatever, Chris. He's like, excellent. They were stickball buddies.
Put it in the film. Yeah, that's right. And Jesus owes Rufus some money, doesn't he?
Jesus owes
$12.
Rufus about $12. Yeah.
About 12.
That was a big deal in those times.
And plus interest.
That was
yeah.
money, big money at that time.
Yeah.
All right, roll tape. Here is Chris. He's introducing Salma Hayek, who plays Serendipity, to Bethany, who's played by Linda Fiorentino.
19.
Yeah, the one about the kid by himself in his house, burglars trying to come in and he fights them off. I had nothing to do with that one.
Now, you define the kind of movies you make. I mean, how do you see
Personally,
this
or
world?
define
Yeah,
it
well,
from
just
the words of the reviews that I've seen?
No, I mean, no. You know what you see.
What I think I make films that are kind of personal. I put up movies that I kind of would like to see myself.
Yeah.
And I like to make movies about guys or situations that I find myself attracted to or just kind of interested in or stuff I haven't seen before. Because I like movies. I like all kinds of flicks. I like going to big bombastic type Hollywood movies, but you don't really identify with them all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's great to watch Die Hard and see John McClane running around, but I don't identify with John McClane. I would never jump off a building. You know, I would never shoot a terrorist. I would never take my
He's a
shirt
character
off
played by
in
Bruce,
public.
right?
I mean, yeah, the character that Bruce played. I wouldn't take my shirt off in public.
Sam was in that.
Yeah, Sam was in
He
there.
was there.
One of the
Yeah.
other ones,
And
right?
Die Hard. Which one?
Whatever.
Die Hard 3,
Die Hard 3 or 4.
With a Vengeance. Die Hard
With a Vengeance.
So
Three.
sometimes I just like to make flicks that I would like to go see and see myself in, reflected in. And I guess that's kind of the small audience we have digs that as well.
You feel good about this?
About the movie? I feel wonderful about it. It's a funny flick, and it makes you think. I mean, if you walk out of the movie and maybe you think about your own faith or your own spirituality, or maybe not, at least you've been entertained.
And you want people to do that?
That'd be nice, and that's why I couldn't understand why people would be so up in arms about a movie that made anyone think about their own religion or their own faith, because nobody does that. No movies make you do that anymore. Movies are largely...
Pokemon.
All right, besides Pokemon, no movies really make you do that, and regardless of whether it's kind of surrounded in foul language or whatever that we've been accused of having in the movie, as long as you walked out thinking about something, other than like, oh, that popcorn was expensive, or oh, that movie, sucked. I think that's a good thing.
Thank you. Great
Thank
to have
you.
you. Thank
Thank you.
Dogma. Go see it. Back in a moment. Stay with us.